Just, no.
Oh.
Yeah. Then we just release the brake. We take some of that. And then that goes this way. That's good enough. Shoot in. Now we have strapped inside the channel. So now I aborted too early.
Okay.
So we have strapped hanging there. Okay, you see it?
Yes.
So now we do a manual cut. And then here we have our loose strap. Start again, shoot in. This time we do it right. Release. This is done. Whenever you work on your strapper, for whatever reason, test it before you start production. Because otherwise it gives you the first headache right away. If you don't got it right, then yeah, it will not work. But you have the paper, you have the machine full of paper, and you need to take that out. Exactly. The strapper is, I don't know, you probably have other strappers here in the building, so just interrupt me and say we know or whatever. The strapper is a heating strap. So you melt your plastic, and then actually the weld is very weak. You try to pull it apart, it goes very easy. So the heating tongue is something you need to maintain. So first of all, you should have... No, this one here was super easy.
Oh, no.
Okay, no, then it's
That's
fine.
excellent.
Good, that's what we want. Excellent is what we want. You should have a second heating tongue in your shop.
Yes.
So just get with Mosca and get a second heating element.
Yeah. I think we might have one, but I don't know if it's
Okay, so they need cleaning. So as I said, the operator here every day, once a day, you have to say the morning shift or whatever shift, they should blow out the channel, blow out the head. They can open it, so they go inside, blow it out, close it again, and they're ready to go. And that just helps you to maintain your equipment better. But as a general thing, heating elements, they do require maintenance and they do burn out. So I don't really have a timeline for you. You're not running that much, so you'll probably need longer, but they do run out. Next thing, as we walk our way through, you see the yellow sensor there, which is the end port detection. So it's just how it works. The wall comes up, it has to see an end port. So if you see an error message, no end port detected, it's that sensor. Since that really is embedded in the wall, there is not really an issue with it, but I would say that comes up at the time, or from time to time. But yeah, we did saw it, but it's nothing you should have on your watch list. The next thing, what you need to clean are your eyes. You have photo eyes here, which look across. You have a photo eye. I have to move the wall back up. You have a photo eye from there, looking across. This is the one horizontal. You have one vertical as well. So what they do, they watch the opening for any debris, like for paper, for imports, for whatever. So if they detect something, the wall will not come down. Then you have an error message, cross photo eye. The name, I think it's a little bit challenging, but it does look across. It looks across the table
Okay.
yeah, and detects a log. So how the machine works, when you, let's say you had something in a sequence and you had to remove your log to the front. The log stacker is expecting the log to come to the back. So then you have an error message, cross photo eye, log detection or something. Then you just first try to reset and start again, because then it's just you move the log to the front. The machine expected it to go to the back, said, hey, I missed something here. Or when you have a misalignment, then the eye is seeing something else. It has, there's no reflector. It is like just on distance watching sensor. So then if that sensor sees some whatever points in the machine, then you also get that error message. That most likely only happens when you had to replace it with a new sensor and it was not adjusted. In here, hard to tell. Let me see this side. This one here. On this side, you have a large cylinder. I just looked for the mount, which is moving the wall up and down. So for you as an electrician, it has two reed switches, upper and lower position. So that's all what's in there. Important is the pneumatic is somewhat a little tricky because you have interlocking valves. So they are bridged with a brake, so they hold the balance, the air balance for your wall. So let's say you move halfway up and then you hit the stop, your wall needs to come to a stop. As a general, since it is pneumatic, never ever crawl in between the opening or put your arms there or whatever. Always be safe. The wall is very heavy and you're also operating here with 80 psi and the cylinder like with a piston like that right around. So your hand will be gone. By default, electrically or anything, the wall will not come down on its own. So if you see it creeping or whatever, then you have leaking air somewhere, or like the piston, the seal is going bad or something. So you lose something out of your air balance, so that allows the wall to move. We call it the strap shackle. That is the strapper here embedded. There is a little, you should have paper as a printer, right?
Right.
Let me see. Just, I will picture that first. So you have a cylinder which is moving in and out, and then you have your shackle moving in a plastic which will open and close the strap channel. So what will happen, your top will be fine. They will blow it out, there is nothing. At the bottom, you will have some paper debris building up here in those corners.
Okay.
Because paper goes in there, then it opens and closes, it will compact it. You have a little oil in your air, so then your oil will accumulate with the paper dust, and then the thing will come up.
Yes.
So you as an electrician, there is there is a fix for everything. So you can adjust your sensor, which is wrong.
Clean it.
Clean it.
Yes.
So sometimes it's tricky to go there. So actually I recommend, depending on how much you run and so on, so the timing can vary a little bit. But then once a year, you just take your strap shackle out, so you actually see it, and then you get to it correctly. And then you find your own rhythm. If it was very clean and there is nothing, that means you only have dry dust. There is no oil or anything building up. And also there's not that much dust. So if you have a book plant, they have way more paper dust than you may have here. And so then you may go to a 2-year interval or whatever. So that's why I'm saying don't hit me on that 1 year. But I think that is the experience and it's a good time span. You have little square cylinders on the top and at the bottom, sitting from the back, which will push which will make that movement to allow your channel to open and close.
Where is that thing at right there?
Right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then in there, because there is at the bottom, it's not hollow at the bottom.
Okay.
So it allows you to collect. So that's why I'm trying to explain that. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I see how to do it now.
Okay, so then what's happening, you have 2 little cylinders which make that movement, top and bottom. They have reed switches. So what I have seen before, that a customer will just adjust the reed switch and then your machine will be happy and run. But then
Still
what you're
building
happening, you don't have it as a wide opening anymore for your strap to come through. So now for months or a year, you have a bad performance of your strapper because you have a bottleneck with your strap shackle because your opening is not wide enough anymore for your strap to come through. So then after you clean that, all your problems went away. But for sure, then the paper pickup and all that stuff decides by the machine operator, not by you. So let me think. We covered the photo eye, we covered this photo eye, the switch there, the board feeder. The board feeder, it's a simple design. So now you don't have a design like this. Your block, the same plastic is used. But now, that thing will look like this. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing to clean. I just like to explain. So then the cylinder makes a movement up and down, which will hold your board. And then you have only a reed switch in the top that you're open, because the bottom, you don't know what the size of your board is, there's no sensor. So, but then you have your yellow sensor which sees that the board is there. So that's how you do that. But I see over time that your bolts, you need to keep an eye on them and keep them tight, and so it's not a thing which shows up next month or whatever. I do see it, but it's like a year and a half or whatever. But the thing is, when it comes to it, that is something for you to think about it and check. If you would have like a year maintenance visit for a checkup, that will be part of the checkup. The same as the strap shackle stuff would be part of the checkup. If you want to do it on your own, this is you have to have on your list. And then with the fingers, I don't know why sometimes, not only with one customer, like on 2 or 3, we saw some hairline cuts with the aluminium because of that permanent like working with the boards and so on. Most likely customers like your boards are good, but if you have like firewood boards, so you have more disaster moments where things get stuck, where you have jams and like whatever, there we have more issues. Otherwise you should not see the aluminium metal bridge, the clamper, let's call them, as an issue. So if this is what you run, you will be fine. If you run firewood, then you need to keep an eye on it. As we move forward, here's nothing else. You have your indicators. If it's safe to reach into the machine, as long as it's green, you can break the light barrier. If it is red, you have to, or the machine will stop. Here we have what we call a floating head. So you see that thing is moved. Yeah. Then let's just close so we don't have the error message all the time. Here you see our back pressure. It's 3.8 bars. There's a cylinder in the back which pushes with 3.8 bar against that wall. So now as we have paper coming down and building up, the paper is pushing back that wall, and then the machine starts to move. And how that's happening? If our wall is at 90 degrees, your machine will do nothing. Because that, what is coming in, the machine moves away. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Now you have too much paper buildup because they changed from 16 pages to 32, or you went from 50 pound to 60 pound, so you have more bulk. So now your paper is pushing back that wall out of the 90 degrees position. The machine will recognize this. It will speed up those belts, the orange belts. So now your wall comes back to 90 degrees. Everything is normal. So now the machine tries the other way. Your belts are too fast. So your product is running away. Or you took out a lot of products. So then the machine will realize, oh, okay, I have too much air in it. I have to slow down to allow the paper to catch up to build a nice log. The machine will always try to get to a pressure setting of whatever you put in here. So if you have a pressure setting, or in that case your operator has a pressure setting which is too low, you will see that your paper comes down, your wall is always pressed to the back, and then your belts are running too fast. So as your log is forming, your product is laying flat until it lays totally flat, and then you just have a disaster. So the first thing what you need to check is your pressure setting. And in here you have your analog sensor which sits here on the cylinder. That one. So that is monitoring the disc from the piston, and then detects movement. So that's how we know where the position of that cylinder is. So this is 0, and then it just gives you a value up to 10 volt. If you take a 90-degree angle, you put that ball to 90 degrees, you want to measure 0. If you move to the front, it will be negative. If you move to the back, it will be positive. So then, when it's negative, your system will slow down. If it is positive, like the voltage is positive, then it speeds up, and you increase your belt. And here for After you push E-stop, all your servos release and you can move stop. So each grid here has a linear cylinder. They also by nature will wear out over time. So this is nothing critical. So this is not that they go bad overnight. They will go bad over time. So when you see that they are aging, then it's time for you to get new ones in. And this is also work you can schedule. So if you know there next week there is maintenance on the press coming up, then you just schedule half a day or whatever for your post press, and then you just go to your cylinders.
I know we had some spares of something in that box. I don't know which.
Yeah, that's.
We got all kinds of spare stuff. I don't know what it is.
No, not all kinds, but you have some. But
Oh,
there are four.
there's still more
There
over
are
there.
for the gripper. Okay. Now there, I don't know what you have.
We got a whole box of belts over there. A lot of them Carson says for the Rima.
We could take a break for a minute while you're doing the vacuum. We don't miss
To form your product, you have a middle finger, which is this one here. So if this is at 0, you have flush belts. So that means if you take that signature, you have a straight signature, which will have tendency of rolling. It's unstable. Here, if you move the finger out, you can form your product. So now you give it like a shape, a wing shape. So now if we put it, you can hit it so it's stable. So it helps you to form your log. Then for the operator, the inside needs to be kept clean. Like see your paper in
We
here.
got an air line
They
over
should
there.
look, take the paper out.
Yeah, air reel over there, don't we? Just
Otherwise,
blow this thing out every day.
Oh yeah, there needs to be an air reel.
Your flexible wire track will get messed up when you have paper in there. And then they break in. Then they just, from there the problem starts. So it's really a lot of it's keeping the system clean helps you to keep you out
Supposed
of
to blow
trouble.
all this out once a day. Need an air reel over here though. Mount one. Mount one over there maybe.
Need operational.
Probably no. We would get somebody over.
Here is your main screen.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
So error messages, main screen, jobs, you don't need to use it, speed settings, strapper, clearing small log, maintenance.
Okay. So this will get me back, and that's what I'm.
Where you get
changed,
your settings.
Right, we went to 850 as far as the count,
Now I changed it to 800.
800.
Yeah.
I'll get my glasses there, I'll be right